Edition of 3D Printing News Unpeeled. Today, we're going to be talking about a Korean company that is going to industrialize additive manufacturing for automotive and a lot else besides tiles made from algae and a new innovation by Renishaw. Now, first off, we're going to be talking about Link Solution. So, Link Solution, with a link with a C, is a Korean company, and they want to industrialize additive manufacturing, industrialize mass manufacturing with additive, with 3D printing. And they've made an FDM printer, a material extrusion printer, a high temperature printer for peak. So these high performance materials that are really high strength, and you can use them for aircraft. You can also use them in the body. So it's PEAK type family of materials. These are very difficult to print with regular material extrusion printers. You need a nozzle temperature 420. That means you need to harden all the printer, have a bed of 200. So you need a very special printer. They made one of those. They also made a huge stereolithography, or a huge vat polymerization system. I think it was about a meter and a half in length or something like that. Huge system, akin to the big systems that I think only Materialize has systems that big at the moment. And they made that as well. And they're also working on metal binder jet. So this is a company I think is criminally underwatched, criminally underfollowed. I'm really curious as to what they're going to be up to. They're tied to some Korean automotive suppliers. They really are working in the limelight, really catering to local large companies. And I just hope we get to learn a lot more about them. Anyway, so what do? They now have been since 2015 working with Czar. Czar is a company, a UK-based company that makes inkjet printheads and helps you commercialize those for additive manufacturing technologies. So you can go to Czar and say, "Hey, I want to make a bioprinter. Please help me make it," and they'll help you, with the vagaries and the craziness of inkjet. Oh, by the way, Link Solution also has a bioprinter, like a biofood printer, like a extrusion nozzle as well. But anyway, they're also going to come up with metal binder jet, and that's why they're working with Czar. So now they're going to work with Czar's Nitrox and Aquinox, high laydown, high reliability printheads. And I just think this is an amazing bit of news that I think a lot of people missed, and I think a lot of people, maybe you saw this company at Formnext, but they just have not been noticed as much as I think that they should be, given what they're doing. And so they signed an MOU with the guys at Czar. Gareth is there in the middle, and yeah. So this is what they're up to, and I hope we get to learn a lot more about these guys. The next bit of news is the MYCO-ALGA interior tiling system. This is something we're going to be seeing hundreds of versions of this. Now, in this case, this is a waste material that's been ground up and then printed. Then it is baked, fired up, and somebody takes then a natural material, uses natural pigments, adds it to them. You could use algae, you could use mycellium, and then those natural pigments are added to this kind of tile system. And the combination of both using a recycled 3D printing material and using natural materials, or living pigments, or living kind of object is going to be something that's going to be huge. We're seeing lots and lots of stuff emerge around this. I know people that have pioneered this, like Carmen Brio, and other people that have been doing this for a long time. But this is just going to get a lot bigger. Anyway, so just just start paying attention to it. Algae, mycelium based, bio-inspired based, recycled stuff. It's going to be everywhere. This is made by BioMatters. I think it looks very different, very unique, very crazy. I'm not entirely sure how easy it's going to be to clean these tiles if you'd have them in your kitchen or your bathroom, but I think they really could be a cool signature piece for somebody looking for something different and that comes with a story. So that could be cool. The other thing is Renishaw. So Renishaw has a new technology that's Tempus. So I always kind of jokingly refer to powder bed fusion machines as recoating machines. So they lay down a new layer of powder and then recoat this layer, smoothing it out and making it suited for printing. And depending on the machine, it might spend a third or maybe 2/3 of its life recoating, so just applying this laser, while the other, let's say a third, is spent with the actual laser doing the building. Now, this is a very obvious problem, and what Renishaw is actually doing is it is used algorithms to make the recoater work, or make the laser work while the recoater is in motion. So what normally happens is the laser does this little dance, it stops, and then the recoater recoats the next layer, and the laser does another dance in pretty much the same place, right? Now, what Renishaw has figured out how to do is just using algorithms just using sulfur essentially to make the laser go at the same time as the recoder. So, and they say that this may, in some builds, reduce half the build time. So, a 12-hour build to be six-hour build, um, and that is an insane amount of time savings and the insane amount of money savings. If you look at a machine, you maybe run it 200 days a year. If you can just optimize that by half, it doesn't only mean that you're not printing twice as fast, right? You finish the build in half the time, which may mean that you can do two builds in one workday, or it may mean you can do an extra build in the night shift or something like this. And it's just an insane time saving. It really can lower cost per part. The company says it can save 9 seconds per laser. So I love this. If you compare something like this, which is an algorithm-based thing that doesn't change too much about the machine, to other people who are making are trying to throw lasers at the problem, have like a 12 laser machine, this seems like a much better idea. And imagine the guys at Renishaw can do this for their installed base. So all the people that bought Renishaw machines years ago, double laser, quad laser, whatever, 300s, whatever. Imagine those people could just get a software upgrade that would make their printer run 10% faster. Now, for a lot of these guys, it probably wouldn't work. If you're using aerospace, you just want the same laser to do the same thing all the time. You don't want to change these settings. But if you're in a service bureau environment or you're making brackets for a bicycle or something like that, and some guy could do a software update to make your printer work much, much faster, that could be beautiful. So I really hope that these companies figure out that this installed base is a market too, right? Even if you bought a printer 5, 10 years ago, you're probably still running that machine. And if they could raise the productivity through algorithms and software, you would be willing to pay for that. And that would be a considerable increase in the lifetime of that machine, a considerable increase in the utility of that machine, and a considerable increase of the profitability of running that machine for that company. Would increase the resale value of that system as well. So I hope other companies do this. I think this is a wonderful sign, and I really hope that this this ends up working in the field, and a lot of people are starting to look more like the culmination of running. We're already seeing this. The people are running aluminum, which, because it runs much faster on the machine, is actually cheaper. Other people are running like an Inconel, a special Inconel that maybe allows them to make a structure with less mass, less layers, and actually end up being cheaper that way. Now, these kind of combinations between a better material and a better hatching and strategy and settings and all this, and a better kind of design, could really bring a lot of value out of existing machines without having to upgrade or change the machine. So I think this is a wonderful and a really, really exciting development. I hope everyone does this, because I think this will do a lot more for all of the tens of thousands of machines out there than just the new machines being made. Now, of course, as a machine vendor, if you make the old ones better, maybe people delay buying the new machines. But I think that's the wrong kind of very negative, very limited way of thinking, because a lot of business cases just aren't working because of the machine cost, because of the post-processing cost, because of the powder cost. And if we would just, be a little bit cheaper with these older machines, maybe people would run them for automotive parts or for much cheaper, kind of much more industrial parts, rather than just only doing aerospace. So I think this is really exciting, and I hope everyone does this. I hope you enjoyed today. This is 3D Printing News Unpeeled, and my name is Joris Peels. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you learned something.